Everyone, this is a part of a lecture where we are going to do a problem. This lecture is called P105.4. This is an example problem lecture. So I'm going to do a simple problem to convince that you guys have totally understood the area under the curve and the principles of integration and all that. So we're going to convince ourselves that we can do all these problems, and we can see for ourselves what the benefit of doing such a problem. So going further, I'm going to first consider the case where I am traveling in a cycle. A guy is traveling in a bicycle, okay, like that. So he's traveling in a bicycle just like that, and there is this cycle, and this guy is traveling in this direction, and there is a car. Okay, there is a car which is like this, and it is 12 meters. So this is 12 meters apart from the bicycle, and that's the car right there, and they're traveling in the same lane. Okay, same lane. They're traveling in the same lane, and the beauty of this is that this car is going to decelerate. It is going to hit the brakes, and what's going to happen is that after traveling some distance, say some x distance, this car is going to stop, right? And the bicycle which is traveling at say velocity of the bicycle is not given. Okay, so we don't know that, but the velocity of the car is 12 meter per second. Okay, and the the car, when the car is going to stop, when it comes to a halt in this time, the bicycle is going to continue in the same speed, and it will hit the back of the car in this point. Okay, in this point the bicycle will collide with the back of the car, and there will be an accident. Okay, that's the situation right there. Now what we are going to what the intention here is to find out what the velocity of the car is, sorry, velocity of the bicycle is, and then the distance traveled by the car, the distance traveled by the bicycle, the time taken for collision, and also the average velocity of the car during that period. Okay, the car. Okay, that's all, the whole thing that we need to find out. Okay, so what we are given is one thing, which is the acceleration of the car. So the acceleration of the car is given as acceleration from 0 to 1 second. First second the acceleration is 0, and afterwards the from 1 to final second, the acceleration or the deceleration to be exact will be b times t final minus t initial, right? T1. Okay, from t final to t1, the deceleration will be proportional to the difference in time. So you can say deceleration will be b times delta t. So it's proportional to delta t. So a is proportional to delta t, and the value of b is minus 6, so it's decreasing. That's why there is a minus sign. So that's the whole thing, that's the question as it is given. Okay, now let's solve this problem, do this problem and solve the whole thing, right? So what something that we can find straightforward is that if you have a bicycle like this, and there is a car which is 12 meters apart, there is a car, and the stopping distance of the car is this much distance. So the total distance of the car, so this will be the distance traveled by the car, right? Before stopping, and this is a hitting point also as well. Now what you can say is that, what you can directly say is that distance of bike will be equal to 12 plus distance of car. So that's straightforward from the graph itself. Now what I'm going to start off is to see the equation of acceleration, which is 0 and b times t final minus t initial, t1 not t initial, from 0 to 1 second and 1 to t final. And this plot I need to see how it looks like in a graph. Okay, so let's draw that plot. So I'm going to draw it with x-axis and y-axis, x-axis being the time and y-axis being the acceleration. At first second, you'll see that to the first second and there is t final here. Okay, so to the first second the acceleration is 0, so the plot will look like this. Okay, it's straight, it's 0, and then after the first second it will be b times delta t, so it's proportional to tf minus 1, tf minus 1 second, so it will be a proportional line which looks something like this. Okay, so that's going to be the plot. So that's the plot of a is equal to some delta t times a constant. Okay, so that's the plot right there. Now we can put back a b, the value of b, and write down that a is equal to minus 6 times delta t. Write down that, and you can see that the graph will be the same, but the thing is that minus b means that the value starts from a is equal to minus 6 delta t, means that for the first second it will be what, 6 minus 6, right? So the first second it will be, no, for the first second and second, to the first second the a is 0, and after the first second to the second t2, and the first, which is second t2 minus t1 will be 1. So a is equal to minus 6 times delta t, so delta t is equal to 1, so that means a will be equal to minus 6. So at t is equal to 2, a will be equal to minus 6, so it's minus 6. And after the second, right here, and after the second it will be minus 12, right? Third second it will be minus 18, so it will look something like this. Okay, so that's how it will looks like. Okay, it will go like that. It's the same curve, it's the same curve as above, and the area underneath this curve is the same as the area underneath this curve. Okay, so it's only the negative value because it's a deceleration, so the curve, exact curve will look like that. Okay, for your information. So it's the same as for our mathematical purposes of calculating the area, it's all the same. Now what we can do is that we can write down the equation of area, right? So let area be equal to what, integral of t0 to t1, right? A times dt plus integral t1 to t final a times dt, right? So that will be the area. So you can expand on this and you can write down that at t0 to t1, you can see the graph yourself. T0 to t1, the graph in the first second a is 0, so you can just write down that it's integral some integral 0 dt, not necessary t0 to t1 if you want, 0 dt plus the, in the second part if you look at the equation, it's b times tf minus t1, right? So you can substitute that back into the equation. Integral tf t1 times to tf, a will be equal to some b times t final minus t initial t1 dt, right? So you can expand, you can integrate that, and the first term will vanish, cancels it out, and the second term will be there, and it will be in v final, or you can call v final will be equal to some v0, right? Some v0 sorry, I just overstepped myself. So it will be, the integral will be b times tf minus t1, right? So you can, this is area, this area will be equal to, area will be equal to the velocity, so total velocity of the motion. So the area underneath this curve will be equal to the velocity. So area underneath this curve will be the velocity. So now you can clearly say that, so this is being the velocity, this integral will be equal to the velocity. So velocity will be, right, if you look at this graph, you can see its velocity will be vf, and this is, there will be v1 and this will be v0. So the velocity here, the alternating velocity, the first time the velocity is almost a constant. Now before that, after that it will be changing, right? It will be changing with respect to the acceleration, changing acceleration. So v final minus v1 or v0, let it be v0, will be equal to, because v1 we also included that, so it will be integral t1 to t final b times t final minus t1 times dt. So you can write down that v final will be equal to v0 plus integral of that will be b times tf minus t1 the whole square by 2, right? So that's the velocity right there. So now we can write down the equation of velocity. The velocity curve will look like v is equal to uh, in the part of t0 to t1, it will look like vc, it will be a constant velocity, and after that it will be vc t plus b times tf minus t1 the whole square by 2, right? So this is t1 vt1, so that will be the velocity in the range of t1 to t final. So that's the velocity right there. Okay, let's call this equation 2. Our first equation was the acceleration equation, so this be the equation 1, and now we have found out the velocity equation, which is equation 2. Okay, now what we can do is that we can plot the velocity versus time graph. Now we can plot versus time graph. So we can do that right now. So it's a velocity versus, we have already plotted that, I think. Okay, there is no. So velocity versus time graph will look like this: velocity versus time graph. So in the first part it will be vc, right, to first second, and after the first second to v final second t final, it will be increasing with the ratio of t square, right? So delta t square, so this will be increasing. Looking at the second equation, you can see it will be increasing at the rate of t square. So v is proportional to some constant times what v is equal to v is proportional to some delta t square, so it will be increasing in the power of square. Okay, so that's how it's going to look like in the case of the velocity versus time graph. Okay, so that's how velocity versus time graph look like, and we found that. And what this area underneath this velocity versus time graph will be the total displacement. Okay, the area under will be the total displacement of the car. Okay, so that will be the area. Let's find out the area. So area will be equal to displacement. So displacement will be x final minus x0, so that must be equal to integral 0 to t1, which is in the first place, right? So in the first place, first time to 0 to t1, which is 1 second, times v c dt in that first part where the velocity is like that, times plus t1 to t final velocity of car times dt, right? Velocity of car times dt. So the velocity of car in this range, you can look at the equation 2 and you can see that velocities of car will be like this in the two ranges. So you can substitute that back into this equation and you get v c times integral of that, integral of dt will be t1 minus 0, but that will be t1 plus the substitution we can put down vc times t2 t final minus t1, because the integral of, okay, I'm going to substitute this part as well. So in this will be, okay, for screening itself, so this part will be v c t1 plus b times tf minus t1 the whole square by 2. So when you integrate that, you get within the limit t1 to tf, you get vc tf minus t1, right, plus b times tf minus t1 the whole cube by 6. Okay, you get that. Now what you can do now is that we can now write down this is the equation of x final minus x0, right? So x final will be equal to this, okay, this x final will be equal to, if you remove that, x final will be equal to x0 plus that. Okay, So that will be the x final. Now this is the equation of x final. Okay, so let's write this within the range of, this is for the equation of, for the position or displacement for the range of t1 to tf, right, t final. So that's the range. And for the range of t1, for the range of the first range 0 to 1 second, it will be this part. So it will be x0 times x0 plus v c t1. Okay, that will be the displacement, equation of displacement for the first part, and this will be the equation of displacement for the second part, where 0 to t1, this part, and this is, so this can be, equation can be called as the third equation. Okay, let it be the third equation. Now what we are going to do is that we have found out the equation of, we can plot the velocity versus position versus time graph if you want. So position versus time graph will look like, for the first second it is almost a x will be equal to x0 plus v t1. So t1 is a constant, right, t1 is a constant, and vc is a constant, x0 is a constant, so it will be a constant, right. So x0 will be x, this will be x0 plus vc t1, this will be the constant for the first second. And after that the power has been raising to the power of 3 to the power of 3, some value times the power of 3. So it will be a combined effort of something proportional to x is proportional to t cube, right. So that's the power plus there is a t as well, so there is a t as well, plus some constant times t. So that's the way it is going to behave, that graph is going to behave. And the area under this curve, right, this curve, this total curve will be the distance traveled. So that's the distance traveled by the car. Okay, now let's get back to equation 2, and then let's find out, we got the displacement equation, we got the acceleration equation, we got the velocity equation, we got them all. Now what we can do is that we can take out the velocity equation, and for the second part, from t1 to first second to the t final, we can see that v final will be equal to vc plus b of t final minus t initial t1 the whole square by 2, right. So that's the equation right there. Now what we can do is that we can put down, this is for the first second, so t1 is equal to 1, that's why here t1 is equal to 1. Okay, so now what we can do is that we can, when the car is going to stop, when the car is going to stop to a still, we can clearly understand that v final will be equal to 0. So you can equate that, it will be 0 times vc will be 12, vcr is 12, it's given, times 1. So plus b is minus 6, right, b is minus 6 uh, times tf minus t1, which we don't know, the whole square by 2, right. So b square by 2, so that's the answer. Now if you equate this, and you can find out tf minus t1 the whole square will be equal to say uh, 2 times 12 by minus times minus, there is a plus 6. Okay, you can equate that, and you get tf minus t1 will, the whole square will be from this, will be that, and you can clearly see it will be equal to what 3, right, sorry, 4 seconds, 4 seconds square. So that will be 4 seconds square. Now we can find out, we know tf minus t1 the whole square is equal to what is equal to 4 seconds square, 4 seconds square 4, which is the second square. So you can see that tf minus t1 or delta t is clearly equal to 2. Okay, so we found that. Now what do we find out, what do we get? So if you look at this plot, this tf, which is the final position time, minus t1, which is the first second, is given as 2 seconds. So the total time will be equal to 2 seconds plus 1 second, that is 3 seconds. So we have found out the total time. So total time of deceleration of the car, which is now 3 seconds, right? 3 seconds. We got that, the first thing. Now what we can do is that now we can go back to the equation of velocity, position, this position equation, and use this equation to and substitute. We now know tf minus t1, which is equal to what, t final minus t1 is 2 seconds, right? We can substitute that back into this equation, right? We can do that. Now for that I'm going to crop this thing, uh, and then move around so that I get it someplace else, right? Okay, let it be there. Okay, this is right there. Now that's the equation right there. Now what I can do is that I can I can substitute the values of each of these values and then find out the total distance. So distance will be what, x0, x0, which is 0. We start from the 0 point, times vc, which is 12, times t1, that is equal to 1, plus vc, which is again 12, times tf minus t1 is 2, plus b, which is minus 6, times tf minus t1 is again 2, which is 2 cube, divided by 6, right? So you can simplify that and you get 12 plus 24 minus 6 and 6 cancel, so there is an 8. So the answer will be 28 meters. So car is going to travel 28 meters. So that's the distance of the car travels. That's the distance of car. Okay, so that's the distance of car. Now we got the distance of car. Now remember that we have beforehand we have told that if the distance of the car is equal to distance of bike is equal to 12 plus distance of car, so distance of the bike will become 12 plus what, 28, so that's 40 meters, right? We got that as well. The third thing, now we can find out the velocity of the bicycle. So velocity of the bicycle is distance of the bicycle by time, which is 40 by 3, so that's around 13.33 meter per second. Okay, so we got that as well. Now the average velocity of the car will be the distance v average of car will be the distance traveled by the car, which is 28 meters, and the time, which is 3 seconds, so it will be 9.3 meter per second around. Okay, I did that earlier. Now that's all we need to find out. We got everything that we have questioned. So we found out the velocity of the car, average velocity of the car, the velocity of the bicycle. We found out the equation for motion, equation of position, velocity, and acceleration equations. We devised them. We found out the total time for this whole thing. We found out everything. So I hope you got a clear cut idea about the one dimensional equations, that how to handle them, how to do actual problems. Okay, so I think this was helpful for you guys. All the best. Okay.